You are chasing perfection right now. A perfect team, perfect processes, a flawless quality system. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Perfection doesn't exist in nature. You will never find a perfect circle, and you will never find it in the wild. Yet, that impossibility is exactly what makes it powerful. I am Juan Navarro, and this is Advanced Quality Programs. Today, we are exploring why models matter, why ideas guide us even when we cannot reach them, and how understanding this principle transforms the way you lead your organization. Think about it. A perfect circle is a mathematical concept. It exists only in theory, but engineers use it every single day. Architects design with it. Quality professionals measure against it. And why? Because it gives us something to aim for. It allows us to compare what we create with what could be, what should be. The perfect circle is not achieving perfection. It's not about that. It's about having a direction, something to aim for. And this is the foundation of every quality system you have ever implemented, every leadership concept. ISO standards, Six Sigma, lean manufacturing, all are models, and they are perfect circles in a sense. They do not exist in the perfect form in any organization, but they point us toward excellence. And now, let me ask you, what is a perfect circle in your leadership? What ideal are you aiming for? What ideal are you measuring you against? And here is where most leaders stumble. They focus on the operational models, the processes, the frameworks, the systems, but they forget the most critical model of all, their values. Your personal value system is the perfect circle that shapes every decision you make. It determines the corporate culture you build. It influences how you respond to crisis. It defines what success means in your organization and for you. And here's the key insight. If you are not aware of your own values, you are living blind. Let me break this down for you. Corporate culture is not just about having some values written in a wall. It's about shared beliefs, assumptions, and norms that guides everyone how they should actually behave. Some researchers argue that setting a value system has become more important than setting goals. And I agree. In today's environment, the defining trait of a leader is the ability to lead through values. But where does corporate culture come from then? Two academic traditions have studied this. The anthropological one views organizations as cultures themselves, living systems with their own rituals and symbols. Sociology, on the other hand, sees culture as something an organization possesses, something that can be shaped and changed. Since the 1980s, researchers have asked a game-changing question, or three game-changing questions to be exact. Can we measure culture? Can we change culture? Does it affect the bottom line? And the answer to all three is yes, yes, and yes. But only if you understand what you are working with. If you search on the internet, most definitions agree on this. Corporate culture is built around core values, often introduced by top leaders. It includes norms expected to be shared by all members. It reflects what works in your specific environment, and it defines what you aim to achieve and why. But here's my working definition. Corporate culture is a shared value system and belief system of the organization, and the members specifically beliefs about what works with the organization and values about desired outcomes and the methods used to achieve them. Now, some critics argue that practices matter more than the values. I completely disagree with that. Practices without values are just habits. Values give practices meaning and direction. The leadership change And here is your challenge as a leader. You must be aware of your own values. You must understand the nature of your organizational culture, and you must know how that culture aligns with the needs of your people. This is not easy. Some question whether organizational culture can truly be assessed or changed. But most people agree that cultivating a strong culture is complex but essential. When asked and used effectively, corporate culture becomes a powerful medium for communicating values, setting business goals, fostering employee engagement. It contributes directly to competitive advantage and long-term success. Let me give you a concrete example. Think about Toyota again. Their culture is not about lean manufacturing techniques. It is about that mindset of continuous improvement, about improving all the time. And it is their core value. Kaizen, in that sense, is not a process. It's part of the belief system. Everyone, every employee, from the factory shop floor to the top executive, shares that belief that small improvements matter. And that's a perfect circle in a sense. They measure themselves against that perfect circle every single day. Now, consider a company in crisis. When values are clear, decision is easy. You know what to protect and what you need to sacrifice. When values are unclear, every decision becomes a battle. Role models help you to give shape to these ideals. Think of that perfect seasons that inspire a team to win a championship without a single loss, or the visionary leader who builds a seemingly flawless enterprise. These are just aspirations. We know that that seldom will happen, but they give orientation to the people on that organization. They help everybody shape the plan and find out the way back when they drift from to what they truly want to achieve. So let me bring this home for you. The perfect circle does not exist. That's the truth. But it matters because it gives you direction. Your values are your perfect circle. Your corporate culture is the expression of that perfect circle through those values. And your leadership effectiveness depends on how well you align those two. Now, your action plan for this week. Identify one perfect circle in your organization. What ideal are you chasing? Is that zero defects? Perfect customer satisfaction? Complete employee engagement? Name it. Now, second, ask yourself, is this ideal guiding your team forward or is it paralyzing them with impossible standards? The difference between those two determines whether you are building a culture of excellence or a culture of frustration. Now, the third and last step, examine your own values. Write down the top 3 values that guide you as a leader in your decisions especially. Then ask your team what values they see in your actions. Compare them to. The gap between what you think your value system is and what others observe is where you really have to work in your perfect circle. Remember, models matter not because they are achievable, but because they are aspirational. They guide us and give us something to measure against. They provide direction when we are lost, and they remind us what we are building forward. And that's all for today. In the next episode, we can dive into the shadow side of organizational culture, those toxic parameters that destroy even the best companies. You won't want to miss it. Thanks everyone for rating my books, The Quality Mindset, the Life Quality Projects, and the Principles of Quality. I'm Juan Navarro, this is Advanced Quality Programs, and until next time, keep building excellence.
One small change triggers everything. Watch how agile thinking works. Inspect, adapt, repeat. Each step builds the next, creating confident, unstoppable momentum. This is The Quality Mindset by Juan Navarro. Get your copy now.